Well, good morning, everybody, and we are back with Bishop Car Chronicles. It's time for another segment of renewing the mind and the body for healthy living. And while the notifications are going out, I would like to send out a birthday shout outs to Rick Tate, to Anitra Jones, to Lorena Johnson Cuchlow, to Fernando Gregory, and to my friend and brother, Mr. Mo Steph. We are going to be getting some things going underway in just a little while, so just stay tuned for that. I want to wish you all a very happy birthday, and if today is your birthday, I pray that your day is filled with many blessings, gifts, and love from all around, and that you enjoy as many of the sweet things as you desire. Just don't make yourself sick, all right? It's your day. Go out, celebrate it, live it up. You deserve it. Good morning, Mother Downsella. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If this is your first time watching one of these broadcasts, I want you to know that they are to encourage you, to empower you, to educate you, to motivate you, to inspire you, to uplift you, to move towards your destiny, operating in the purpose for which you've been created, using the gifts that are within you. I just can't tell you thank you enough for all of that you do, for all of your likes, your shares, your comments, your red and blue dots. They all mean a very great deal to me. And I want you to know that I love you from the bottom of my heart. If no one else has told you today, please know from Bishop Walker that I love you. All right. And so it's going to be a terrific Tuesday. I'm just speaking and declaring and decreeing that over our lives. Of course, our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers are still going out to the victims and the families in Dayton, Ohio, and in El Paso, Texas. We want to let them know, for any of you that may be connected to them or are just just feeling that and sensing that that you are in our thoughts and our prayers, and we are wanting to and needing to begin to press into heaven just a little bit more, so that we can begin to legislate and get strategies for execution and get wisdom so that we are able to execute those strategies here in the earth realm. And that's something that I kind of wanted to talk about to us today, is the fact that we live in a world, and I shared a post yesterday, and a question was kind of like, well, what are you gonna present on, what are you gonna share on? And the fact of the matter is that we live in a world and we live in a time where it is filled with hate. And I was just thinking about this the other day, that this is one of the reasons why the Lord Jesus must return, because judgment is coming to the world. Judgment is coming to the earth. And so there's so much, watch y'all, there's so much corruption, and there's so much evil, and there's so much deceit. There's so much evil in this world that God is going to get rid of it. He's going to bring eternal judgment to the earth and to the souls that live within the earth, which would be you and I. And so to get rid of it so that it can be the way that He desires for it to be. But until such a time, we live and exist in a place where hate, hear me what I'm saying, is taught. I shared this yesterday, and you can go back and you can read the post, that hate is a learned behavior. And it's sad, it's disheartening, it's sickening to know that there are individuals in this world and that would drive across the state to take the lives of innocent people. And it goes to show what's happening at the home level. This is where I want to really kind of talk and dig in, and you all can share your thoughts and your opinions, etc. And you can share your scriptures. Mother Cheryl Miller blessed me with many scriptures on yesterday, and so I want to give a shout out to Mother Cheryl Miller, mother at Urban Empowerment Ministries, one of our great supporters as well. But it's at the home level. It's at the home level where many of the foundational principles and the foundation and the structure of love and the framework for how a person will think, how a person will engage, how a person will emotionally respond to certain situations and circumstances, it all starts at the home level. It starts at the home level. What's up, Mo Steph? Good to see you, man. Happy birthday to you. We gave you a birthday shout out. Today is Mo Steph's birthday, y'all. Tell Mo Steph happy birthday. A great man of God, awesome producer, artist, music artist, rap artist, doing great positive things for the kingdom of God and standing as a great ambassador of the kingdom. So y'all make sure to wish him happy birthday today. But everything starts at the home level. So you have to take an observation. Now, I'm not going to be on here much longer. I'm going to get off here in just a few minutes. But take an observation of your own home structure, of your home level. What type of environment did you grow up in in your home. And I understand and know very well. Good morning, Clarissa. Thank you so much for tuning in. That not everyone has had the privilege and the opportunity to grow up in a home, if you will, where there was a lot of love, where they had structure, where they had continual lessons. My fiance kind of gets on me because I like watching. I like watching now. People feel how they feel, but I love watching the Cosby Show. And the reason why I like watching the Cosby Show and I like watching A Different World is because during that time, of course, it was in the 80s, it was a depiction of a black family and a family who was actually, if you will, prosperous and successful. The father was a doctor and the mother was a lawyer, of course, and they raised their children in this environment. And of course, they presented several different situations and they addressed them in the way that they could. And it really helped me to have an understanding of, well, what will happen when I have kids, and how children need a lot of attention, they need a lot of structure, they need a lot of guidance, they need a lot of affection. Hear me what I'm saying. Good morning, Sean. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Mother Downsella, for wishing Most Step happy birthday. But it requires us to, again, take an observation at the home level. What is happening in your home presently? You go back in your own mind, look at your own upbringing. What happened in the home where you were raised? And my cousin is on here, and she can witness to this, that we grew up in an environment where we were exposed. Now watch this, y'all. And this happens predominantly in the black community, or if you will, the African American community, where because we are under such oppression, where we grew up in a certain level of poverty, if you will, a certain level of poverty. We didn't grow up in the projects. We didn't grow up in the projects, but we were not rich either, if you will. We were not considered the elite class. We were not considered high class because of the amount of income that was coming in. My mom was a single mother, and she was raising 4 kids. And so, and then my dad also, when I lived with him, my dad was a single father. So I lived with him and for a little while. But then, like I said, my cousin can attest to the fact that we grew up in a home where our environment was filled with drugs. Our environment was filled with alcohol addiction. Our environment was filled with domestic violence. Again, it wasn't anything. Good morning, Verdana. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. It was nothing for the police to be at the house on a daily or even a weekly basis. And so that's the type of environment that we grew up in. But the other aspect of that is too, is we had church. Now, that's one of the things that's very strong and very prevalent, very evident in the black community. We have a very strong biblical or Christian foundation, or religious foundation. Good morning, Sherry. Thank you for tuning in. We haven't seen you for a little while, but I'm so glad you're here today. And so the question is, what's happening at the home level? What is going on in your home? Because listen, these kids that killed these people over the weekend, they were in their 20s. They just crossed over to being legal. And so a lot of people kind of want to say that Trump is the reason for these shootings. I would dare to say he's not the reason, but I would say he's a catalyst for sure by some of the rhetoric that he has used during his campaign. But you also have to understand he's also doing what he feels, or his administration, they're doing what they feel is going to be necessary for him to get the vote. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about for him, is being able to get the vote to remain in the White House for another 4 years. And so, you got to be able to look at things beyond the deeper, beyond the surface level. See what's going on beyond that, because a lot of this stuff, y'all, that's happening, even these shootings that occur, their names are now going down. Hear me what I'm saying. In history, in U.S. history, hear me. There's always a deeper level. There's always a deeper meaning beyond just what we're seeing on the surface level. On the surface level, yes, these people lost their lives. These families are hurting. These communities are now broken. And so now across the country, across everywhere, if you have any sensitivity towards mankind, you feel that. Because watch this, people say, well, I never thought that could happen here. No, the fact of the matter is, it's all around you, and it's happening even now. It's just that they haven't pulled out the gun yet. Why do you think a lot of companies and corporations are now starting to train their employees on active shooter events or incidents? Because it can happen at any given moment. That man drove all the way over to El Paso to a Walmart where there's low-level security, if any. I hope y'all hear me what I'm saying. What's up, Unc? Thank you for tuning in. My Uncle Eric's on here. I love you, man. But the question is, what's happening at the home level? What was missing in these boys' lives, in these young men's lives at the home level? Because everything always starts at home. The word tells us that charity or love, it starts at home. So the question is, what were these young men missing? Or what were these young men being taught, being trained at the home level that caused them to grow up with that foundation? Hear me what I'm saying, to grow up with that foundation and then be fueled with hate. Hear me, because hate is a learned behavior. I don't care what anyone says, what anyone does, you cannot convince me. Someone taught these young men to hate. Hear me what I'm saying. What's up, Chris? Minister Chris Watkins is on. Love you so much, man. Someone taught these young men to hate. And that hate was within them. It was a seed. Hear me what I'm saying. A seed that was planted within them, that was watered by someone else, and it sprouted up this past weekend, and we saw it. And so this is why you must be very cautious and very careful, very conscientious of the seeds that you sow, especially if you have influence on children. If you have any children of your own, you have godchildren, you have grandchildren, you have nieces, you have nephews that are very young, that are very impressionable, that are influential. You must be very conscientious of what you say to them, what you do to them, how you treat them, how you love on them. It is very important, hear me, because kids will latch on and they will pick up more than what you realize. Hear me what I am saying to you. Good morning, Sister Cindy. Look at what's happening all around. Check your own life. Look at your life. What are some of the things that you are doing now? What are some of the things that you are saying now that are as a result of what you learned from your own home environment, from the environment that you grew up in? What are some of the things that you are doing even now as a grown adult, a whole grown adult, that you picked up when you were a kid? Some of that stuff is good. Some of that stuff is bad. That's why some of y'all relationships is jacked up like they are, because of the home environment. That's why your money situation is what it is, because of the home environment. Hear me what I'm saying. Your career choices, your academic levels, they are what they are because of your home environment. Everything always starts at home. So we can't just point the finger and blame Donald Trump. Yes, again, I feel that he's a catalyst, again, because of the rhetoric that he uses and because of some of the things that he's allowed to happen and go on during his administration. But it's really sad and very disheartening, y'all. We have had, watch this, and I'm getting off here, I gotta go, my time is up. 251 mass shootings in this year alone. Somebody needs to wake up and hear what I am saying to you. 251 mass shootings in the United States of America since January 1st, 2019. On average, that comes out to be 1.2 mass shootings every day. So it's like every day there is a mass shooting happening somewhere, every single day. Why? Because we refuse to have tighter restrictions when it comes to gun laws. Our governors and our senators and the congressmen, those who are in power, refuse to have tighter restriction on gun laws. Why do we have, and one of the stories, I believe it was in Ohio, where he had legally purchased the gun. Legally, y'all, legally purchased a rifle. Legally purchased a weapon that can kill multitudes of people. Just what happened in Ohio. And they are exciting and they're praising the response time of the police squad. And I mean, I don't blame them. I understand. And they said that they took the shooter down in 30 seconds. But all it took was 30 seconds for him to kill 9 people. 30, y'all, hear me. 30 seconds is all it took for him to kill 9 people and injure a lot more. But 30 seconds was too long. It took too long. And we are now living in the day and age where we are reaping what has been sown at the home level. So I'm coming back to you. What's going on in your home? That's the question that I want to ask. What are you saying in your home? What are you doing in your home? Because what's happening at the home level, it's going to show up. And that's one of the things that, I love my mom and my daddy. I appreciate them. I love them and I honor them. Always have and always will. Because they whooped my behind when I got out of line. They taught me right from wrong. They taught me to love people, love my neighbor as myself. If someone would have taught these young men, love your neighbor as you love yourself, they would not have carried out the hateful acts and the evil acts that they did. If somebody would have put a rod to their behind, I believe in the word. I'm getting ready to go. Spare not the rod, because if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Good morning, Lady Burl. Thank you for tuning in. If somebody would have put a belt to they behind, if somebody would have put a rod to they behind when they got out of line, hear me, y'all. I guarantee you that we would not have experienced what we experienced this weekend. You know, sometimes kids can get out of control. Kids can throw tantrums. But I thank God that my mom and daddy wouldn't let me throw no tantrums. Listen, whoop your children, correct your children, discipline your children. That's the bottom line. Don't just let them do and say whatever they wanted to do. Correct them. Hear me. Correct them. Because if you don't correct them, we will continue to see these type of events and incidents going on. And we can't just blame it all on government. We can't blame it all on the president. That mess starts at the home level. If you heard what I said, put it in the comments section. It starts at my house. What's going on at my house? It starts at my house. All right. I love you all today. Let me see what you're saying in the comments section. Mother Doncella says it's happening everywhere. No place is exempt. She says, my deliverance is needed. Help us. What's happening in your homes? Verdana says way too long. Absolutely way too long. Absolutely way too long. So the question on the table is what's happening at your house? But then here's the question. Here's the moving forward. Now, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because I am now looking for other outlets and avenues and ways to be able to impact the governmental decisions and legislation at the level where I live. I'm not in Congress. I'm not in government. I'm not looking to run for no seat. That's not where I've been anointed. That's not my area of assignment, not at this particular time. But I can make an impact. And it oftentimes starts with who you vote for, who you choose to put in office. We've got to learn how to look up and research the legislators and the judges and the city council members and senators. We need to learn how to research who they are, what agenda are they pushing, because everybody's pushing an agenda, whether you believe it or not. Everybody is pushing an agenda. Even I'm pushing an agenda right now with this broadcast. And what's my agenda? My agenda is to cause you to renew your mind and your body for healthy living. That's what my agenda is. I don't have any alternative motive than that. I'm trying to help you to make better, healthier decisions for your life that will impact the entire world. All right. I love you so very much. Thank you, Sister Cindy. That's right. It starts at my house. Correct your children, as Mother Downsella says. It starts at my house. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Share this broadcast with your family and your friends, your neighbors, and coworkers, because it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to renew the mind and the body. And it's time for us to start making different decisions that's going to impact our world and make it a better place. I kept hearing this song by Michael Jackson. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying in the world in which we're living. Make it a better place for you and for me. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much. I pray that you've been encouraged, educated, motivated, inspired, and uplifted to move towards your destiny, operating in the purpose for which you've been created, using the gifts that are within you. All right. I got to go. I love you all. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you for the red and blue dots. It means a great deal to me. I'm signing off by saying, hello, 2019. I'm going up, and so are you. And what's to come for you and for me is better than what's been. Mad love.